What was developed? What was developed? God is the only creator. So I hate that word. It gives me it makes my spine shiver, 24 hours before the opening of the first resort in New York City, Margaritaville, Times Square. Take one. We're essentially building the first vertical urban resort in New York City. It's an ecosystem with multiple food and beverage outlets, an unbelievable array of guest rooms and suites and amenities. It's going to have the first interactive gaming arena in the ecosystem, which is coming soon. It's also reopening up New York. So not only are we opening up a resort, but we are essentially right now helping bring, hundreds of permanent jobs into the economy of New York City, and that is what's incredibly exciting. The road to get here was just filled with pain, trials, tribulations, all of the above. When I look at buildings today, there's a different respect that I have for every single building that I pass, because I know that there's a story behind every single building and how it got erected. Starting with the pyramids, to the Eiffel Tower, to the Empire State Building, and the Margaritaville Resort, Times Square. Every single one of those buildings and structures that have been erected have a story, and there's a different level of respect and curiosity that I personally have now whenever I walk by a building. The first step starts with, identifying the site and the challenges that you experience in acquiring a site. That's the beginning of the story, right? And this site has an incredible history. I mean, this used to be the Parsons School of Design. Kenneth Cole, Donna Karan, Project Runway was filmed here. This was one of the most important fashion and design and architectural institutes in the world. That's what was on the site for many, many years. Being a developer and an investor and getting an opportunity essentially to redevelop a dormant corner in Times Square is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is one of the most trafficked locations on Mother Earth. Pre-COVID, there were in excess of 130 million people that congregated, came, visited, toured, hung out in Times Square. It's a 24/7 activation. And when it was offered to me, it was like, I couldn't believe it. I remember running out of my office and looking at this corner and saying to myself, wow, I can own this corner, I can buy this corner and build something here. And then fast forward 7 years later, 24 hours away from debuting a resort in New York City in maybe one of the most important times in the history of New York. We are just coming off of one of the greatest tests that we've ever experienced as human beings with this pandemic of COVID and the shutdown of the city. And the city officially is opening up July 1st. And we are opening up a resort at the same time as the city is opening up. If that is God not smiling upon us and saying, you deserve a little bit of luck, I don't know what is a smile from God. It's a little surreal. I was tearing up driving this morning thinking I've got to write a speech tomorrow, right? And I was just thinking, what am I going to write? What am I going to talk about? Am I going to focus on the setbacks? Or am I going to focus on the home run, right? How many times did Reggie Jackson strike out before he hit those home runs? And what do people remember? Through the blessings and the abundance of God first and last, I persevered and I didn't give up. And pain passes, right? All pain passes. And people sometimes are afraid of pain, but pain is good. What do they say on Broadway shows? The show must go on. There are two types of people in life. There is the person that sees what he wants and he goes and gets it. And there's the person that sees what he wants in life and sees what will stop him. And I know what person I am.